Well, welcome everybody. Doug Schakel here, retired head men's basketball coach at Colorado Mesa University, and 50 years ago, the head boys basketball coach at Crowley County High School in Ordway, Colorado, where our young men were the 1968 undefeated Colorado State champions of basketball. So I just want to give a shout out to my guys. They're a little bit older now, 50 years ago, but pretty great achievement by those guys. Well, I'm really excited to get into our part 3 video here on the triangle zone offense. You know, for the last 4 years, I've had hundreds, probably thousands of email requests from coaches just like you that have said, hey coach, do you have any game footage of the triangle zone offense? And I didn't think that I did, but recently I made a real concerted effort to try to find something, and I was successful in doing that. And here's what we've got. The University of Colorado Springs actually provided both of these opportunities for us, and what we're going to focus on here today is going to be a segment from the women, and in part number 4 we're going to take a look at a men's version of the triangle zone offense, but the women's really is better, and I wanted to make sure you watch it. And the reason I say that is that the women had this was, what you're going to see in the footage here today. They had 3 months of practice, so they had it down pretty good. The men's version you're going to see in part 4, I had those guys for 6 days. I was the interim men's basketball coach. They had gone 3-47 in the previous 50 games, and we had 6 days to install the triangle zone offense, and we were able to go 3-3 after they'd gone 3-47, and including an upset win over the conference champion. So that's what I've got. Again, we're going to focus on the women's. It is against man-to-man. It's not against zone. But let me say this, a couple things here. One is that the defense you're going to see is pretty much a sagging man-to-man. It really takes on zone qualities. And to be able to just see it against 5-on-5, whether it's man or zone, is really going to help you, I think, to identify the movements and how you're being guarded and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to review the all the ins and outs of the triangle zone offense, because that's taken care of in the original version, the triangle zone offense, and then of course on my other YouTube video is a triangle zone offense versus man-to-man defense. So if you're a first timer and you're seeing this one first, go ahead and take a look at it. But I really encourage you to go to Doug Schakel YouTube. This is our 27th video, and you can find that footage there. We even did a 5-part series on modified triangle zone offense for youth basketball. But I want to encourage you to do that, to look at those other videos. And so now, without any further delay, let's look at some 5-on-5 game action of the triangle zone offense. Well, I just want to jump in here for a second and talk to you about some of the little things that maybe we do a little bit differently against the zone than we do against man-to-man. As you know, we're looking at a sagging man-to-man defense in this video, and it has a lot of characteristics of the zone. But nonetheless, when we go against the zone, we're going to do some different things on that triangle side. And so let's look at some of those options. The first one is the ball goes into the low post area, and of course, normally we X-cut against a man-to-man, but here what we're going to do is what we call spread option, and when that ball goes in, 1 comes along the baseline at the same time 2 is coming along and trying to get inside of a defender that might be here. And so surprisingly, this little drop-off pass is open more than you would think for this guy coming across here. If neither of them get that as they're clearing, that cues number 3, who has been waiting for a possible diagonal out pass from the low post man right there. But as soon as he sees that they've come into the lane and they're not going to receive the ball, he takes a path that's going to go straight across to there. These guys continue on across and go into a new corner guard and a wing position. And we're ready to play basketball. We can throw it out, over, and get into the offense from there. Right? So that's one possibility. Now let's take a look at what else is available to us. So that's the spread option I just talked about right there. All right. The other thing that we're taking a look at is what we call stay and play. And stay and play, and a lot of times this is because we've got a kid down here that really is good and can really operate and is very capable of scoring down here. And stay and play, the ball goes in, and these guys do just what it says. You're just going to stay. And we'll play out of it. If this person comes in to double, we're probably going to kick to that player right there. Or if he's really paying attention, if they come in and double, he might sneak in behind. Hard to say. And I'll tell you what else happens sometimes. It's kind of weird, but it will happen. Sometimes against the zone, we'll throw it in here, and this guy cuts by, and because for some reason this guy hasn't dropped down in here, we can actually get a pass off for this kid for a layup. We've had that happen from time to time. All right, but in the stay and play, they're just going to stay in place and create room for this guy. Now let's talk about this guy and his positioning. I have never liked the idea of setting up on the block. You just, if you get a ball passed into you down low here, you're behind the backboard. You're being defended by the backboard already, and so I've never liked on the block. At worst, I want to straddle the hash mark between the hash mark and the block. And if you want more space for your perimeters, or if this kid is a more active kid and maybe likes to put the ball on the floor from down there, if he's got space to operate, we like to get him up into and straddling this line right there. And it really opens up some space, particularly on the baseline, for our players to operate. The final thing that we can do in here, as far as an option is concerned, is that, of course, it's our corner option. We throw the ball into the corner. This guy is going to make a cut through. You may hit him. It happens from time to time. But if he doesn't get it, he's going to go on through to the other corner right there. This kid begins a dribble, a slow dribble called a drag dribble out, and he's pulling this bottom defender. If he goes too fast, that guy will trade him off to this guy. R will trade off to W, and we don't want that to happen. So it's a slow, calculated, measured dribble to drag, drag, drag. This kid is going to vacate to short corner, all right, and this player is going to dive into the post area. So it creates a quandary now for this defender, because we can, we drag dribble, we can throw it right back to there. We've got a little shot. Maybe we've got a drive, and as we drive, this defender comes and we pitch to this kid right here. Or sometimes, again, as we drag this R off the baseline, we throw back to here. This guy comes early. This guy is diving into here, gets the ball, one bounce, and lays it in. All right, so that's the corner option. So again, I just wanted to let you know that, and of course you can go to both of our other, we've got triangle zone offense. The original is made 4 years ago, and then we've got triangle zone offense versus man-to-man defense that has good information in it as well.